Hey guys, welcome to my Geek Rant. So today I'm going to be talking about Rebels Season 2 premiere. I actually missed it at Star Wars Celebration. I intended to watch it, but the line for it was ridiculous. It was like lined up since like 10 o'clock in the morning. I just simply couldn't see it. So fast forward 2-3 months and now we're here. Oh, by the way, this is a spoiler review, so don't watch if you don't want to be spoiled. The opening scene was great. We touched in with everyone and see where they're at, and they're still having their good times. They're still fighting the Empire and doing well, but there is definitely the fear, or at least the consequence of being so good. And I like that those two things were touched upon, that they are still these folks that can get stuff done, but they also have this new enemy in Vader and Tarkin and basically the big boys of the Empire chasing them down, which is evident right at the beginning of the episode. The better they do, the more attention, or the more unwanted attention they're gonna get. I did enjoy seeing Vader. The first scene that he came in, I was like, oh my god, we're actually gonna have Vader, like we're gonna see more of him. And I think it was done pretty well. Like in the trailer, I was a little bit miffed about his voice, even though it was James Earl Jones, and I was like, I wasn't really selling him. But in the episode itself, it was okay. It was fine. There's also a little, I don't know if anyone picked this up, there was a tidbit with an Ithorian, the one who was on the hologram, and he had a vocalizer. He had a translator, which I thought was kind of a cool touch. You can even hear his original voice in it just a little bit. Cool details like that throughout the episode I thought were really nice. It's great seeing Tano back. Like I said, I thought her face was looked a little weird because I'm so used to seeing her girl face, and now she has her adult face, which is a little bit longer. Her face used to be a little bit more, a little more out, but I'm getting more used to it. Her voice too, I'm getting more used to it now, so I'm kind of okay with it so far. She didn't have too much to do until the end of the episode, which I'll talk about later, but it was good seeing her even in the beginning of the episode. She is definitely now more of a mentor. She was even mentoring Kanan at one point, teaching him how to like reach out with the Force. It's like, come on Kanan, you should know that by now. Speaking of people using the Force, Ezra is really powerful for the little guy that he is. He could sense Tua, what was her name? The governor. He could sense her fear from like light years away, you would assume, and but he does have much to learn, as what Kanan was doing the Jedi mind trick to the Stormtrooper. Ezra couldn't do it quite yet, but still, it seems like this kid's pretty powerful, even more so than Kanan in a sense, in terms of raw potential. I like that we also have a clear motivation for Kanan. He does not want anything to do with another war, because he just came from a very dire war. Granted, it was 15 years before this, but it was pretty traumatic for him to lose his master, and like on basically his first mission in the Clone Wars. And I like that they're picking up on people's motivations of how they would feel about this situation. Hera, of course, she hasn't really seen war. She just hears it from her father, and she wants to go right into it. Kanan's like, nah, I've seen how that works, and I'm not down for like joining some rebel alliance and getting my hands dirty again. So I'm glad that they have all that set up. Everybody has their own motivation, and it's present in the episode. Speaking of the direness of this all, they actually killed off Governor Tua. Like, she was acting like, I don't know what else I could do. Like, I've put up more patrols, there's a blockade, and I don't know what to do. I'm stressed out. And they basically just they use her as like bait for the rebels, and I thought that was like perfect. That's the Empire. Like, if you screw up, you're done. I actually thought a few of the Imperial officers during the episode would have been killed, but they weren't. But I did feel like Callus, he missed too many shots at point blank range when he had Kanan and Ezra right in front of him. It was like you could shoot them from that distance. You're not that. You're an officer, or you're like a commander or whatever, but you're not like a boot soldier or whatever. But it's like, you should be better than that. Like, I thought that was kind of ridiculous. When Kanan was dodging, that was fine, but when he just had his gun up and like missed, I was like, he's not a stormtrooper. He shouldn't be incompetent like that. A little nitpick. I thought that he should have had at least better shots. But still, I'm glad that the show's humor is still there. Like, all the stuff with Zeb, Chopper was funny. Kanan talking to the stormtrooper and is like, hey buddy, didn't I know you from somewhere? And like knocks him out. Things like that. I think I'm glad they kept that in there, because that's something I enjoyed from the first season, is the humor. And just like the playfulness of this series. But it does definitely get dark. Like, for instance, when Ezra and Kanan first sensed Vader, when he was like right there behind him, I got chills, because when I saw Kanan do like the uh-oh, and then the Ezra go like uh-oh, like I feel cold, I'm like, oh shit, like you guys are about to get killed right now, and you're done for. And that was great. And then speaking of the fight itself, I think they got Vader's style very well. Unlike the Inquisitor, who was very flamboyant, and he did a lot of feints and things like that, feints and twirls, Vader's the complete opposite. He is all about economical movement. Like, he doesn't do a move unless there's a purpose for it. Like, he steps out the way, grabs Kanan's hand, he strikes you really hard, blows you back, he grabs you with the Force, tosses you away. There's not a lot of this going on with Vader, and I think they did that very well. It was kind of clunky, I thought, though. Actually, I think the fight wasn't as good as some people were making it out to be. In terms of the choreography itself, I think it was a little bit too simplistic. There was just a lot of blade locks and not a lot of else going on. So, I mean, I guess I can nitpick that, but overall, I think it was okay. But it's not as good as everybody else is making it out to be. Speaking of more sadness, I felt when they burnt down Tarkin's town, I actually felt that it was kind of reminiscent of Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen, like with Luke seeing the burnt up stuff and knowing what he has to do. And also just showing the consequence, like I was saying earlier, is that doing well, fighting against the Empire is what good and everything, but you're gonna have to expect that fight to come back and to come back hard. And I thought that was a really good representation of it right there, is that, if you're gonna fight the Empire, they're going to hit you at home, hit you where it hurts. I also like how they had Vader single-handedly fighting off this entire legion of rebel fighters by himself, and that's actually where Ahsoka discovers him. And I thought at first she was going to discover him because of his flying skills or whatever, but no, Tano feels that whoever it is strong in the Force, so she has her and Kanan are like, hey, let's figure out who this guy is, so let's do a sensing thing. And then she freaks out, she feels it, and then Vader goes the apprentice lives, or something like that, and then she goes, ah, and she passes out, and I'm like, oh god, that's crazy. And that's that confrontation is gonna come up, and even Dave Filoni has said that it's gonna show up, and he says specifically that he doesn't want to make Ahsoka a pushover, so it should be a good fight, but he did say that Anakin and Vader would win. And I also thought it was interesting, Vader actually talks to Sidious at the end of the episode, and he actually refers to Anakin Skywalker as a third person. He's like, Anakin Skywalker's apprentice still lives. And I was like, whoa, you're really he really tried to get rid of Anakin by referring to him in the third person. Same as Obi-Wan, by the way. It's what are you guys doing talking about him in the third person like you guys don't know who this person is? You're freaking Anakin Skywalker. Oh, going a little bit off topic, when Vader was blowing up the Rebel ships, again, attention to detail, I like that this Rebels crew has. When they blew up, when the Rebels blew up, it was the same way they did in A New Hope and Return of the Jedi. Whenever we see the cockpit shot of them just blowing up, and you see the flames from below, and then they blow up. I thought that was a really, really cool touch, and they actually brought it from the episode, or they brought it from the movies into the episode. And again, there's a lot of small things like that, but they all add up, and I appreciate it. At least if anyone here from Star Wars is listening, I appreciate the work you guys do. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I thought it was kind of strange at the end how Sidious was he refers to Lost Jedi, and I wonder if he's actually referring to other Jedi besides Kenobi and Yoda. And I also thought it was kind of strange that Sidious didn't have Vader take on Ahsoka when he said, oh hey, Anakin's apprentice, but then I thought about it and I was like, maybe he doesn't want him to do that because he might think he's too weak. He might think that he would give in to Ahsoka, Ahsoka might be able to turn him back to the light side. Or they just, they don't want to use Vader too much. They want to put more Inquisitors on them. Because that's what Sidious said. He said, oh, put another Inquisitor on them. And I was like, wait, really? You don't want Vader to go talk to Tano or, kill her or whatever? That seemed kind of weird at first. And then I thought, there could be a reason behind that. Maybe he doesn't trust Vader to take on Ahsoka. He might still be, conflicted. But he didn't seem conflicted when he discovered her. When he was like, the apprentice lives. He definitely seemed like he wanted to kill her. But yeah, that's it, guys. I will do another review when they do the mid-season finale, which will be in December. Which, by the way, this episode was the first one, and they're not going to do another one until the fall. So it's gonna be a while. But still, enjoy the episode. Looking forward to the season, and I'll see you guys later. And of course, peace, love, and may the Force be with you always. Luke's open and calm mind allowed for a more adaptable fighting style, while Anakin's reliance on talent and aggression was a bit more rigid. No, why are you mowing your lawn right now? I'm recording a Let's Play. In terms of I guess, I'm sorry. Oh, my battery is pretty low. Hopefully I can do this. Okay. Let's see if we can do this. Um,